Hey, today we're going to talk about anamorphic lenses. So usually when we shoot high-end productions such as movies or TVC and use anamorphic lenses, it's going to be very expensive. And now we do have a very interesting new option. This is a very affordable lens set, which is the Sirui anamorphic lens set. Here we have the 50mm that they already had before, and now they have come out with a 35mm. Now if you own Zcam, GH5 or BMPC, this anamorphic lens set is very awesome for it, because it is Micro Four Third mount as a standard. Now if you're using the A7 III, it is possible, but you would have to attach it with an adapter to E-mount and also in the camera change to APS-C mode. So it's a little bit cropped in and won't show you the vignetting. There is also other option to attach on a Canon EF-M mount, I believe, also with an adapter. I love the 35 giving me a wider field of view, and also with both lenses the quality is pretty good. It is hard on metal, it is not plastic, and I'm 100% sure it's going to endure a lot of tough situations. I love that it is a manual focus, hard stops on both ends. This is good because if you want to calibrate with your wireless focus unit, it is way easier. Changing the iris here, you can see that there is no clicks in between, so you can get a smooth change. Very useful when you shoot from outside going into inside. You don't have to change it to 2 shots, but you can actually do it in 1 shot, and changing the exposure. Pretty amazing is that it actually goes up to f1.8. And this is really good for cameras such as GH5 that are not perfect in low light. Then you can actually get more light in and getting the better and correct exposure on your image. What are the differences to those traditional lenses? Well, first let's see some test samples.
Hey, Beats? Why do we need music? Well, reason 1. It sets us free. Reason 2. We can release our energy. Reason 3. You can be yourself. Beats Studio 3.
Can say that there's this somewhat of a cinematic feel behind it. It's very hard to describe. The anamorphic lens will try to capture as much as it can and using the full sensor size as much as it can, and then later you can use all the pixels you have and de-squeeze it down to get as much quality as you can into a very wide view. The background will become more blurry, beautiful looking, so you get a more shallow depth of field. And also the bokeh in the background will have a different shape than the traditional round ones that you're used to. And of course, lens flares. Traditionally, if we don't have the budget, we often shoot in 16:9, and then in post, we use 2 black cover bars, top and bottom. But unfortunately, the characters I mentioned before, like the lens flares or the bokeh, those won't be available if you do it the low budget way. And this is when having an anamorphic lens will be pretty cool because it physically does it. Before using those though, we need to first do some adjustments. So first thing is, which I think is very important when you buy a new lens and should become a habit, you already probably own a lot of lenses and have the filters for it. And in my case, I usually try my best to unify all the filters. I have 82mm as a lens diameter that I want to unify all the lenses to. In this case though, it is 67. I would strongly recommend to buy these step-up rings, which I have here, and buy also a 82mm lens cap. And now I can put on the filters that I already own. With the 50mm, we're gonna do the exact same. Beside that, what I think is pretty cool is the 35mm actually comes with gear rings. They look the same, but actually they're different sizes. It actually tells you aperture and focus. So we take the focus label one and put it in first. Now we take the aperture one. Now with the 50mm, there isn't a gear ring, and therefore I separately purchased another gear ring. Let's attach it to. Gearing is very important because I might put a wireless focus on it when I'm using it on a gimbal. Alright, now they're really ready to go, and let's do a lens test. Now, just like every other product, there are going to be little things you're going to miss or don't like. In this case, we need to know standard-wise it comes with Micro Four Thirds mount. And if you're shooting a very high-end shoot with RED cameras or every camera, this lens won't be able to be attached on it, which is a little bit of a pity. But because I was shooting recently a project, often you shoot with your A cam, but there are always special shots you're gonna have to shoot with special cameras such as GH5 in very tight corners where you can't get the bigger camera in. And in this case, before when we used the standard lens on there to match it in post again with the anamorphic look, it's a bit hard or a little bit of a pity. But now, because you have an anamorphic cheaper option to also attach onto DSLRs or small size cameras, then you can better match those two cameras in post. Its minimum focus distance is around 0.85 meters, which is, for my personal use, sometimes not enough. I sometimes really want to get close to my subject or object and get some very crazy, interesting, creative shots. I wish it is even wider, because often I like to put it on a gimbal and then show more of the surrounding and the environment. Don't rely only on the 35, do also get a wider lens with you, just in case if you want to have a wider field of view. But all in all, I'm really happy with these two lenses, especially the new 35, and I think these two lenses are perfect for people who are not starting out with video but already have shot quite some years and want to improve their filmmaking skill, having a more outstanding different look with the anamorphic look and trying new things. Then this is actually a really nice way to get into it, because it is price-wise affordable and also very lightweight. So yeah, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to also subscribe to see more awesome content like this. And yeah, 再见, see you on the next one.